Okay, it's Blaster Toad here. We're back in the Spline Platformer project. Last time we got everything commented up nice and made some nice little coins that Ben and bought for us. Yeah, I want to do one. No, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna go in and set them to all start at a random time. But I think that might be, well, not only unnecessary, but a bit of a waste here. What we're going to work on today is making things, making interactable objects. So whether that's a lever opening a door, or making a platform appear, or spending coins to get past something, things like that. So let's do a new folder under our blueprints, and we're going to call this one Interactable things. Sure. We're gonna do a new actor. BP underscore bridge. Sure. And we're gonna duplicate that. BP underscore door. And a BP underscore. What else do we want to interact with? Lever. Okay, so. Ooh, actually, the lever will be its own. Let's start with making an interface. We're going to go to blueprint. So, of course, right-clicking blueprints down here, not blueprint class, but blueprints down here. And we're going to want a blueprint interface. And we want to call this I for interface underscore interactable. Sure. And on each of these, first we're going to file save all. On each of these, we are going to go into class settings, and we're going to add interface I underscore interactable. File and save. Do full blueprint editor, class setting, add I underscore interactable. Save. And same thing on our bridge. Setting, bases, I underscore interactable. Come on. Now we're going to open up our interactable. And we're going to make a couple things here. We're going to rename the default function that it comes with to interact. Then we are going to get a focus start. And focus end. We need those. No, basically we just want to interact, don't we? Okay. Okay, so on interact, we're going to have a new input. Our input is going to be our player. And that is going to be of type character player, object reference, file set. So, BP lever. We are going to firstly make a lever. Add a cylinder, which I'm going to keep this locked, put it down to like 0.3 scale. Forward vector is that, so I want to rotate it to be 90 on X. I then want to add Q, which I want to make like 0.2 scale, 0.5 scale, unclick the little checky box, and then make that maybe like a, ooh, what do we want to make it a full one? Ooh, we don't want to do it on the Z, maybe Y. 2. And then bring it up. So there's our lever. Okay. And we're gonna have new boolean on/off. And on the on and off, we want event tick. Get on off. Brand. Sequence. And another sequence. Do once. Do once. And set. Want to get our cylinder. Set relative rotation. I am recording, right? Yes, I am. Ooh, that scared me. And we want our relative rotation to be 90 on the X. And 30 on the Y, maybe. And then negative 30 here. Okay. Then we are going to do, well, here, let's comment that real quick. As I learned last video, I've been forgetting to do that. On tick, check if, what do we call the switcher lever? Lever is on or off. Rotate to applicable direction. Just rotate to applicable. Yeah, fine enough. So what this is doing is, if our block is on, it's gonna go through and say, oh, have I already done this? Nope. Set it to 30 degrees. If I am off, okay, have I already done this? Nope. Set it to negative 30, and it will reset the other side. That way we aren't constantly spamming and setting location. Just for performance sake. Then we're going to do an event. Event interact. There we go. And we have this now because it's part of the Interactable. You can see that right there. Target is Interactable. We get our player from that. Do we need our player in this case? Nope. We are going to then get on off. Not ever the opposite is set on off. However, we need to tell our player that we can interact with this, so that we can send an interactive. So I could on here make a trigger box, or make a class that this inherits from with a trigger box. Okay, and all of that would be. But instead, I am going to do a new blueprint class, actor, BP underscore interact trigger. This interact trigger is just going to be a box. Get rid of everything here. And we're going to, on the box collision, scroll all the way down here. On component begin overlap, and then on component end overlap. Our other actor, we are going to cast to character player. And now we need to do something on our character. Minimize here, over to our player, open him up. We need a new variable. This new variable will be called interact target. And we're going to have this as just a base class actor. And it's an object. Okay. So now that we've got that variable there, which we'll come back to in a bit, we're going to go back to our interact trigger. We're going to set interact target, and we are going to get parent actor, want get owner, I think get parent actor. Okay, and when we stop interacting, going to Control C, Control V, set interact target to nothing. There we go. This here, set or clear interact target when player enters or leaves trigger volume. We are. Oop. Okay, now we're going to go back to our interactable things. Now we've got this interact trigger, so we're going to open up our lever, go to viewport, gonna snap this to the side here, snap this to the side, and I'm going to pull that interact trigger right into this actor. Then hey, we now have a new child actor. And we're just going to position it up and around. Something like that. So if the character is in that area, they'll be able to interact with it. Okay, now we're going to go back to our play. We could have a new input, right? We could say, hey, we need an interact button. But I want to keep this nice and simple. So on jump, I'm going to get our interact component. We're just going to move all of our jumping stuff down a bit. Okay, so on jump, get interact component is valid. The other is valid. That one. Is this valid? If not, we're going to jump. Plug that. But if it is valid, we're going to get our interact target, do interact, and our player is self. If interact is valid, interact, else jump. So the trick here is don't put an interact target right at the edge of a ledge because your player won't be. Now, if we take our lever out in the world, and you can see it's got the box around it, and we're gonna put it down more along here. I think the next video should be building a level because our current level is getting a little bit crowded. We're gonna go to play in new editor window. Okay. We're gonna go to our BP lever, and we don't want Z to be 30 or negative 30. We want Y be 30 or negative 30. Z to be 0. Think. Play. There we go. So our lever is switched over there. You can see. We're gonna jump over our things. We're gonna come over here, and if we're in the box and we go to jump, we switch that lever. Awesome. And if we move away from it, then we jump. We close. Oh, it wasn't close enough. We interact. Yay. Okay. So now our switch needs to do. We are going to, on our switch, get all actors with interface. And interface is going to be I_interactable for each, for all those actors. File save, and then we need to go to our I_interface. New function, get ID. Rename, get interact ID. Now we want an output of an integer. We're going to call this ID. File save. And we're going to want a new variable on our switch or on our lever called ID. Make that a integer and click the little eyeball beside it so it's edited in our level. File save. Now, with that, you want to get interact ID. Give us a back. Get our ID. Equals. Yes or no. A branch. And if it does equal, we are going to interact with. Oh, this is calling it on ourselves. We want an interact method. Interact interface call. On the event, on the interface call, we want the, come on, call function interact, get into ID function. No, because that calls it on ourselves. So we're gonna pull off here, interact. There we go, interact message. It was context sensitive. There we go. That off. And we're gonna do one more thing here. We want a branch. Or let's do another thing in our interact here. On our I_interact, a new function, we're gonna call this switch interact, and we're gonna have an input of switch state. Go. Instead of interact, we want to do switch interact. Switch state will be our off. And we should also put our on or off as a visible variable so that we can set its default state. So let's see, what is this? This is when player interacts, switch or toggle switch state, get all actors with same ID and trigger switch interact. So this is going to get everything out in the world, same ID. There we go. Now, this door, let's say a door we just interact with. So I'm going to go to the viewport. We're going to add a component. We are going to add a arrow. I like arrows because they're invisible when you're playing. Okay, off that arrow, I'm going to add a cube. Side. Center here and quite a bit taller. And that looks like door type dimensions, right? Sure. I'll save. Going to here have a another boolean, open / close on event check. Very simple setup. Get open or closed. Then going to do a not. No, I'm not going to do a not. Setting its state. Branch. Sequence. Once. Do once. Upset reset. And then on our arrow, set relative rotation And on open, we want Z 90. On closed, want Z. We're then going to interact. Oh. Event interact. Don't need our player right now. Back, blah, blah, yep. We are then going to get open or close. Not. And that will open or close our door. But we need one more thing, so we are going to... Oh. Apparently I deleted my relative arrow. Okay. So this just toggles door open or closed. But we are not telling the player who to interact with yet, so we add a component. We need to add a child actor. In child actor, we can set class. Class will be interact trigger. And then if we go to our viewport, we're going to move this interact trigger so that it... Ooh. No, this is on. I want R to scale so that it covers our door nicely. File save. Okay. So now let's bring our door out into the world. Let's put a door right under our double jump things. So now if I come up to the door, I can open and close the door and then move through it, or close it and not move through it. There's an interactable door using our interface. Now let's make a bridge that goes off of the switch. We're going to do a bridge. I'm going to again an arrow. And again off the arrow to a cube. This time I'm going to bring the cube way out in front of it and I'm going to scale it down. Yeah, apparently my thermostats, or sorry, not my thermostats, my smoke detectors decide they all want to test themselves right now. Okay. So there's our bridge. File save. Event tick. Want up slash down. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Is it up or down? Branch, sequence, do once, set arrow, not set arrow, set relative rotation, grab all that, do Q to make a nice straight line, tick. Copy this. Oh, I forgot the sequence. That, once, on our arrow, which is acting hinge. Could rename it hinge. We want it to rotate on the y-axis. And if it is up, I want it to be 80 on the y-axis. If it is down, I want it 0 on the one. Maybe this is negative 80. Fine. To rotate. Nope, that is positive numbers. That's, yeah, I want it positive 80. Okay, then we'll see on the side here, we have these interact interfaces. We want switch interact. So I want to do an event switch interact, switch state. I'm going to set my switch state to my current state, and get ID. I'm going to make a new variable, ID, make that an integer, both visible, and we're going to double click get ID here. We're just going to plug in our ID. So this way our switch and our bridge could talk to each other. And our bridge has no trigger zone, so it will not interact by itself. So we bring our bridge over here, and we want up or down. We want it up to begin with. On or off, we want it off to begin with. So actually, if we open up our bridge, we want it to be opposite. So we want not switch state. File save. Okay. And then ID, we're gonna, where is ID? Oh, I have the component select. So let's set ID on our switch will be 275. ID on our bridge will be 275. So now if we come around, so it works. It does what it's supposed to. I just have my rotations off. You see, as we switch that, the bridge switches. I don't want door, I want bridge. Go. Because I did it on the Z axis, I want on the Y axis. And there we go. Okay, so you see our bridge is now up. And we can set it. Whoa! Fling myself around with that switch. So yeah, we can toggle that up and down. What we may want to do is take our switch, put it off to the side, and then if we go in here and we can select its child components, and then bring its trigger box onto our path. So we're never actually running over it like we were before. And now we've got our switch switching behind us. And we can walk on our bridge, or we can get stopped by our bridge. Kind of because the way the path goes, he'll path around. Yeah. Yeah. That is that. Let's do one more. We are going to copy our switch. Okay. And we're going to call this one paid. Okay. And this switch, when we get interact, we are going to get coins from our player greater than or equal, new variable, cost in an integer. Get visible. So does the player have more coins than the cost? Branch coins minus cost set coins and then we'll toggle. Yeah. This is just duplicating our switch and off of our input player and get if they have enough coins to do this or not. So over here, we'll have a toll bridge. We're going to get our paid lever. Paid lever is going to be off to the side. We're going to get that interact box, put it right on the road. Bridge is in front of it. Cost to our lever will be 4 coins. It is currently off. ID will be 87. ID for our bridge will be 87. And we're going to go back into our paid lever. If this is false, we're going to say print string pay for coins. Okay, so we're going to come over here. We're going to open our door. Oop. Come over here. Am I not hitting that trigger? There we go. It says pay 4 coins right under our lighting needs to be rebuilt. So now if we go over here, jump over all this stuff, we go pick up our coins. Here, come back. Now we should be able to... Oh. Come on. I have to... And I switched it. Why is our bridge not switched with it? Cost 40, or ID 87. ID 87. It was already down to begin with. That's why. So we're gonna go get our 4 coins. Come back. Open a door. Bridge is up. Going to pay our toll. Okay, that trigger box is just in a bad area, it looks like. Oh, because these two are overlapping. I need to get my door, get the trigger box, scale that down so that they don't overlap. Bring this forward some. There we go. Overlap, then pay 4 coins. So I gotta go back, grab the coins, got some coins. Here, go through the door that I've already opened, and getting stuck jumping there. We're still too big here, so I need to move that back, and we're gonna move the well door. Come on, door will just there. So we open the door, come over here, pay 4 coins. Grab some coins. Get stuck in the place where I have blinds set up poorly. Come back through the door we've already opened. Come into our trigger box. Pay our coins to drop the bridge. And then we could jump up on our platform. If everything wasn't so limited in space around here. So I think that will be the, actually while we're here, we're gonna do one more thing. So we are going to a new blueprint class, actor, BP underscore platform spawn. Okay. For rename switched spawn. Okay, so we're gonna need an ID. That ID is integer. Class settings, interface, I underscore interactable, file save. On our interface, we now have these. We want to get interact ID, plug our ID in there. Make sure our ID is visible. And then event switch interact for loop. Now we want this branch. So if it is true, we want for loop. Promote this variable count to multiply by a float. Have that float as a variable scale. Actor from class. I want to spawn a bunch of platforms. Platform drop. Spawn transform will get actor location. So this here is a super rough and fast. Okay, this is not really part of the tutorial, let's say. This is more of a what you can do with this type of logic. Get actor location. Get actor for vector. Because what you'd want to do with this here is not spawn it in a straight line like I'm going to, but you'd want to spawn it in along the spline. Spawn it along the spline is what you want to do. So I'm gonna multiply that by scale. First index 1. I want to add those two together. That will form. So if it is true, we are going to spawn a bunch of things. And then we are going to say add to array, quote to variable, platforms, and then if this is false, for each loop, get platforms, destroy actor. Okay, what this is doing, and again, this is just an example. This is not part of... I'm kind of putting this as an aside to our tutorial here today. This is an example of what you can do following the logic of what we've already said. So, when this is switched, if the switch is true, we're going to for a number along a certain scale on a bunch of drop platforms. If this is false, we are going to destroy them. So, take that switched spawn, sorry, put it right here above point. Get a switched lever, put off to the side, and then its interact box over here. And this lever's ID will be 987, and this ID 87. Okay. Now if I come over here, hit this switch, nothing happens because I have no value. Okay. So switch spawn. We want to turn, count, and scale. So, and then I'll need to file. So our switched spawn there. Count, we'll do 3. Scale, we'll do 150. Should spawn 3 of these dropping platforms of the coins. 1, 2, 3, and but yeah. So here you could, okay, have a switch that spawns your block that you can jump into, or a switch that spawns platforms across the bottom, across a chasm, or pay to make platforms come across a chasm. You could also do this to, say, instead of doing a switch here, put the interact on here, and on its ID, turn it visible or not, so that either the platform is there or not there. There's lots of things you can do with this interaction setup. So I think that is that for now. Next time, so let's see, what have we done? We've done pickups. We've done using the pickups to pay for things with the paid switch. We have done interactable things where we can either switch them and trigger them from afar, or we can trigger them locally. So we've got the door versus the switch versus the drawbridge and the switch spawn that are all triggered remotely. Yeah, we've got double jumping, and we've got wall jumping, and we've got moving platforms and falling platforms. What else does our platformer game need? I am running out of thoughts here. Well, enemies. Maybe we'll do some enemies. Could do something like Donkey Kong's Cannon. That would be fun. That would actually be quite fun. Let's see, what else? Or, you know what? I think I'm going to build a level next time. I'm going to take what we have and build a level with it, showing what we can do with the components we already have built, and nothing more. And then that way, we can play and see the sort of flexibility we have with this stuff, and then continue from there as I get suggestions of what you want to see in the platformer. Yeah. Thank you all. Again, anybody who is supporting me on Patreon, thank you a ton. And of course, anybody on Patreon does have access to all these project files and gets them early. So right now there's a backlog, or there was a backlog. By the time you've seen this, all the other videos would have came out. But since this is being released weekly, the Patreon viewers have already had access to the previous 3 weeks of videos, while the public gets access to them. So if you do want to support me, it is greatly appreciated, and then also gets you the benefits of early access. As soon as I upload them, you get access to them, and then you also get all the podcast files. So again, thank you to all those Patreon supporters, and thank you to everybody else who is viewing. It means a lot. Please leave your comments and suggestions on what I can do better. And we'll see you next time when we build a level for this. Yeah, I think that's the plan.